So last week I asked you what your thoughts were about the quote or about the statement that children should be taught how to think rather than what to think. First, I just kind of like to break the quote down. Children should be taught how to think. And in my mind, how to think means how to arrive at a solution or how to arrive at an answer. It's about them being put on a path to discovery rather than someone telling them how to get there. It's almost like an adventure for them. It might be trial and error. There may be some bumps along the way, but in the end, they arrive in their own way to the destination. That's the how part. The how is not figured out for them. They explore through the how. On the other hand, if they're told what to think, they are given the step-by-step instructions, and they're to follow those step-by-step instructions in order to arrive at the solution or the destination. So now back to the quote. Children should be taught how to think rather than what to think. There are two sides to this. I think there is a time for this. Now, in one case, yes, in a classroom where there may not be one set answer, absolutely allow students to explore. In some cases, people may think this is a totally hands-off approach. And when it comes to children, we cannot afford to be hands-off at any time. So even when they are exploring, there still need to be some boundaries. There still needs to be some parameters. There still needs to be some guidance. In the case of life, and in the case of things that we as adults know to be true, and if we have lived, we know certain things. So we know that there are avenues that children shouldn't go down. But in a child's curiosity, sometimes in a student's curiosity, they want to travel that road to see where the end will be. Now, if we apply the quote to a situation such as this, maybe we can give them a scenario. So let me give you a scenario. Let's just say a child or a student wants to experiment with drugs. If we apply this quote to a case such as this, mom, dad, or Mr. or Mrs. Teacher in my classroom, here's what I'm thinking about doing. So if we apply this quote, they should be taught how to think it through. Okay, yes, we can give them a scenario. We could say, well, let's just say you do try this drug and you're at a party and everyone else is trying the drug as well. Then nobody's going to be sober. Nobody's going to necessarily know when there's this danger point. Or if we give them questions to think it through. What happens if you and your friend and all the other friends at the party are curious and they want to take the drug as well? Who's going to drive home? Who's going to know when to call 911 if there's an emergency? So we do give that sort of scenario as a response to the child's question because they're interested in trying drugs. But what happens if that child still wants to try drugs? Are we still just going to let them freely go? When it comes to a life and death situation, and in a lot of cases with kids, it is life and death. They don't know at this point how detrimental their actions can be. So in a case like this, I'm I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell that kid what to think. No, you're not doing that. No, we're not going down that road. Now, does that mean I'm going to be able to watch them every single moment of every single day? Absolutely not. I cannot. But I can say that in my best effort, I have told them, I have advised them, I have counseled them. I think there's a time and place for all things. I do not think that a quote like this can be taken literally for every single situation. In this day and age where there is so much going on with students, with children, where there is so much freedom, it behooves us as the adults, the ones who have experienced life, to really apply this statement where it's suitable, where it will benefit students. Every single case in a classroom, this statement does not apply. Of course, we do need to allow freedom to discover, but children are children for a reason. They need boundaries. They need those parameters. And they do need to know why. However, in some cases, the roles have been reversed to the point where the students are the ones making the decisions. And sometimes that's to their detriment. This discussion is not over. Tell me what you think. What situation do you think this statement best applies? Thank you so much for joining us this time on Light in Education. I hope to see you the next time.